listen to a politician. So we'll start off with a bit of Viewpoint. So this is definitely a Marmite game in Viewpoint. So love it or hate it game. I've probably got a bit of nostalgia for it because I used to own it back in the day on the Neogeo AES. Back before before you had to remortgage your house to buy an AES game. Like I say, I've got it on a Neogeo CD now, so it's pretty much the same version. So this is actually being played through Lakka on Retrocade. So it's emulating the MVS version. Oh dear, I'm not doing very good, are we? In this game, you've got to get sort of into the rhythm of playing, haven't you? Some of the games you can't just put on for like a couple of minutes and expect to get that far into it. You've got to put a bit of time into playing it and get back into the rhythm, the feel of playing it. So with Neogeo games for me, a lot of it is nostalgia. I mean, stuff like Samurai Showdown, I remember playing it, back when. Same with this. Same with Last Resort. I mean, I remember playing it in 92, 93, whenever it was. So obviously, you got a different feel for them, haven't you? You got a different feel for games if you've got the nostalgia there. It's like I can't see how anyone could actually sit down and play a Mega Drive game these days if you'd never played one back in the day. Same with the PC Engine, all those 16-bit era and earlier games. I mean, it's probably even worse, stuff like the NES. Oh dear. But even worse for stuff like the NES to me, and like Sega Master System, things like that, and say, I mean, even I'd struggle now to sit down and play a Spectrum game or a Commodore 64 game, or even an Atari ST and the Amiga. I mean, I can't see how you could really get that much fun from playing those games unless you got the nostalgia. Obviously, like I say, it's the nostalgia with retro gaming. I really do think that is the key with retro games. It's just like the same with a lot of old coin-ops as well. I mean, if you've never played Ghosts and Goblins, the coin-op, and you're tempted to play it now, it's a tricky coin-op, isn't it? Ghosts and Goblins, not Ghouls and Ghosts, but Ghosts and Goblins, the original one. And if you're looking at that through a fresh pair of eyes, you'd be like, oh my god, what's this? It ain't really got that appeal, has it? It ain't really got that draw, has it, graphically these days? I mean, back in 1985, I think it's released in 1985, wasn't it? Back in 1985, obviously the game was quite, nice graphically, but these days, I mean, you couldn't say Ghosts and Goblins is a good looking game now. It's like, you probably couldn't say this is a particularly good looking game, even though it's sort of like head and shoulders above the CPS 1 and CPS 2 and all those old other Capcom coin-ops like Ghosts and Goblins and the like, and Bionic Commander. it's very much, to me, retro games is very much it's a nostalgia thing for me. It's like modern day gaming. It's obviously moved on. There's always going to be a place in my collection for like retro or my old game collection. It's something that, you know, I like modern day gaming, but I still enjoy playing older games. They ain't retro games to me, they're just games from my past collection, usually, or from past memories, or very few retro games that I own, especially originals these days, are ones that I didn't own back in the day. Don't get me wrong, there are a lot of great retro games. Or older games, if you don't call them retro games. There's lots of the older systems games that, you know, they still play well. But for me, it's definitely a nostalgia trip. Yeah, it's definitely a nostalgia trip for me. Yeah, definitely. I mean, Neogeo games, they were never particularly cheap back when. I think this was probably about 150 quid brand new on it. I think I paid 110 quid. It wasn't that old when I bought it. It was second hand on the AES. I think I only paid about 40 quid for the Neo CD version a few years back. So, you know, I think they were reasonably priced, really, Neo CD games, aren't they? Obviously, you know, half the price of a Neo Geo AES game. Obviously with the Neo CD, you've got that longer load time, particularly in games that are like above 50 odd megs, was it? Oh dear. Should have probably had a mess around with the Unibias on this, shouldn't I? As I say, on this you can actually go into the Unibias and change like a cheat database. You can go into choose infinite lives, bombs and such, invincibility. You can just sort of activate them or not. So it's really useful, the Unibias settings, if you've got like a fairly tricky game. So I've only got the one with MVS that's set with the Unibias. My other MVS and AES, they all have the original SNK BIOS. I think this is still a great looking game, really, considering it's like pseudo 3D. Unfortunately, the difficulty can be a bit off-putting, but with the MVS, you can actually go into settings and change the difficulty and such, which is something that you can't really do with the AES version, as far as I'm aware. Not unless you've got the Universe anyway. Or some other way of playing them. Like, I don't know if you can actually do that with the Neo SD cartridge. I ain't sure if you can actually choose Universe settings or not with that. But with a stock standard AES and the Neo CD, you can't actually select difficulty levels on a lot of Neogeo games, can you? Unless you can do it. Some games have got the options. I mean, like, I think it's like King of Fighters have got the options. King of Fighters have got the option. But like, oh man, what are we doing here? A lot of the games, I mean, stuff like Magician Lord and I think the Fatal Fury games, things like that, especially the earlier ones, you haven't got like a difficulty level, I think. As far as I'm aware, I don't think you've actually got a difficulty select. They're nearly all set at the lower end arcade difficulty, level 3 or 4, in. So taking a look at the laptop there, it's ticking away nicely at the moment. I can find it incredibly difficult to try to play, especially tricky games like shooters while streaming, and you know, trying to hold the conversation. Hold the conversation as well can be a bit tricky. Yeah. But yeah, it's a funny old thing, isn't it, when you're trying to juggle the different things that you've got in front of you, say if you're streaming and whatever. But yeah. Very few coin-op shooters use this pseudo 3D effect, isn't there, really? There are a few. I mean, I think Zaxxon's one of them, isn't it? That's a fairly early one. But obviously, you aren't quite this advanced with the graphics. Oh, didn't even see that bullet there. tricky. Say evening to anyone that's watching. Universe up, take a look. Viewpoint, very nice. How's it going? Oh, not too bad, thanks, mate. Yourself? Yeah, definitely a Marmite game, innit? Viewpoint, love it or hate it. This day I've got nostalgic, so I got used to only on the AES cartridge form back in the 90s when it was released. So I've still got the Neo CD of it now, so obviously that's the most affordable version, that and if you got it on an MBS multi-card, which I've got it on the multi-card as well on the MBS. Yeah, Viewpoint, yeah. And so nothing like going up against an army of robotic slinkies. Oh, you've got to be shitting me. Well, you wouldn't have budgeted for that, would you? Oh, for do 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 do. Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing with his accent. It was a bit. It was a bit of a one of them, wasn't he? I think he tried to complicate things, didn't he? But then again, was it any more difficult than Viewpoint? I mean, Viewpoint's a bit of a shit, isn't it? Really, the difficulty level of it. But something about it that keeps making you want to come back and play, especially if you're a bit of a masochist. It's a bit like using YouTube, isn't it? Must be masochists. Oh, he's an evil shit in him. I've got no idea what level this is ranked on. It's on level 3 or level 4. Seems quite tricky. Oh, for fuck's sake, you gotta be kidding me. I prayed, Army J. Yeah. Yeah, God, yeah. Yeah. Bloody Paperboy. It's a bit of a blast from the past, isn't it, that one? Paperboy, 720 degrees. God, they're old Ataris, aren't they? Old Atari coin up soon. Yeah. Is it skate or die? Skate or die. It's had some nice music though, didn't it? Oh, fucking hell, let's just fly straight into a bullet. Yeah. Oh, fuck that. This is, oh my god. That's just fancy playing this tonight. I just thought, oh, fancy being annihilated by Viewpoint. Just fancy being punished. Punished by Viewpoint. Punish the player. I remember years ago my manager at work used to be a production engineer at engineering company, quite a large engineering company in the Midlands at the time. I remember he used to say to me, he used to go, ramp up those speeds and feeds on the machines. Cut metal, I want to see metal flying from the tools. Punish the steel. Punish the steel. I used to think, fucking punish the steel, mate. Punish the steel. It's still stuck with me, fucking 20 odd years on. Oh, you tit. I need a bigger screen, I think. I think this tiny fucking crap LED screen that I'm playing on, I need to rig it up to the plasma thing so I can actually see what the fuck I'm doing. Hold up a sec.
1, 2, 3, 4, hit!
Yeah, it needs more than a fucking zigzag maneuver. It needs a fucking kick up the arse maneuver. It needs... I mean, how many times I've played this game? I ought to get past this every fucking time. The amount of times I've fucking played it, but it is what it is. Don't know playing it with a shitty controller either. I really need to put the arcade stick into this to play it. Can't play it on the controller, can you? Can't play it on the joypad. Playing on the joypad, it's... sacrilege, playing Neogeo games on the joypad. I mean, even the LCD joypad was pretty shitty on it. And now them little mod switches in, didn't it? Very much like the Neogeo Pocky. That's more like it. Thank you very much. Sorry about that. Pain in the ass car of this thing. Tell where Polestar goes irritating baddies some car, yeah. It's a good term, and eat the baddie. It's a baddie. Video game baddie. Die, fish. Oh yes, catch the laser. Dead center. It's always best dead center on the ship if you can catch the laser. Let's play catch the laser. Punish the ship. So Fishy's old man used to say, so punish the ship. Punish the ship. I want to see lasers flying off that ship. Come on, fishy. You what the f... fish finger. The fucking hell. I didn't even see that. What the can't even buy me drinks there, I ain't had a fucking drink all evening, so. God, them missiles were a lot of good, isn't it? Come on. And this bit here with these bloody killer swarm fish, such a pain in the ass. Just the fish you gotta avoid. It's the fucking bullets as well, innit? I mean, what the fuck? Oh well. I think we're gonna call it an evening anyway with this. Only won't put a bit of viewpoint on anyway. And again, as always, thanks for dropping in on the stream. I probably won't be uploading this one. I'll probably be deleting it due to the excessively bad language that I've given during the gameplay. So, again, thank you very much, Matt. Thank you very much, Predator. Thank you very much, Jay, for dropping in. And I think I'm just going to knock it on the head for Viewpoint and a bit of retro gaming. Probably going to pop on the Xbox now. Just slaughter a few pubescent Americans on PUBG. So again, thanks again, and I'll catch you on the streams.